Hello, my name is Trey DeGarmo, and welcome to my internship presentation. So to get started, a summary of my work. So for my internship, I did internal financial and compliance auditing at University Health in Kansas City. I spent most of my time auditing contract labor and sending emails and replies to department managers and employees. I typically worked on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 1 to 5 and Fridays from 9 to 5. I usually pretty much always did my work remotely, and I only went into the office about one time. Every Friday at 11 a.m., I would meet with my supervisor, Barbara, and she would help walk me through the things that we were doing and help answer any questions or comments that I had so that I could continue to work through what I was doing. And for like financial auditing, I mainly did like auditing of fixed assets, their depreciation schedules and stuff like that, and as well as auditing contract labor to check and make sure that the contracts that we had, to the clients that we or the the people that we would contract out, like the firms, to make sure that like everything matched up and they worked the hours they were supposed to and everything. So it's very important to make sure that all that is correct and everything. And then for compliance auditing, I would mostly be checking spreadsheets and things like that, and then emailing out, depending on who's on the spreadsheet, who hasn't completed their compliance training yet. So I would send out emails to department managers, employees, notifying of that. So that's where the compliance aspect of my job was. So the work environment, so during the semester, like I mentioned, I only went to the office about one time. So my work environment was mostly me at my desk, working by myself, either doing the emails or going through different contracts and payment registers and things like that. When I worked in a different department during this internship during the summer, I was in the building for 40 hours a week in a typical office building in Tiffany Springs. That's where I met a lot of the accountants and developed relationships with them. But once the semester started and I moved into my new role in auditing instead of accounting, now I'm remote and I only work with a couple other people. Sometimes I have to work with some of the department heads and stuff like that, but mostly I'm just by myself. So my team, like I said, I was mostly by myself, but I did have a small team. My supervisor is Barbara Zubek. I got to know her pretty well. As I mentioned, I met with her about once a week. And so I did get to know her pretty well. She actually has a daughter that attends Mizzou. She's worked with my dad. My dad works in a different department. So sometimes during the auditing and stuff, she has to go to him. So, that made it a little bit easy to break the ice. But now me and her have really developed a good relationship. The only other person really in our department in auditing is Koya Daniel, and I haven't worked with her much, but I have been in some communication with her when I can't get in communication with Barbara, or there's something I need Koya to do that I had already talked to Barbara about. So I didn't work with a team as much as just a couple people, as well as having to do stuff with accountants and other department heads, some people that I'd already met in my role during the summer, so that helped. So most challenging aspects would definitely be the amount of independent work and the compliance response troubleshooting. So like I have never worked completely independently at a job before. I worked in like customer service roles and stuff. So it was a challenge for me to transition into working remotely and independently when I'm actually having to just be self-motivated and get the stuff done that I need to get done without anybody looking over my shoulder, or without a customer that would be yelling at you for not bringing them something. So that was just the most challenging, was finding that motivation internally, and I think I worked through that pretty well. I always just kind of had my mind set on the work that I wanted to get done each day, and I felt like I was able to do that and stay focused. And the responses for the compliance emails, that was tough because, it wasn't like some of the stuff that I have been doing where I'm just checking spreadsheets, making sure things line up, making notes where they don't. And I'm actually having to work with people And it's something that I was really new to, so helping people with something I didn't fully understand was kind of tough, but my supervisor really helped me through that. And kind of the previous stuff I've done with customer service and all that really helped me in this, and to be comfortable working with people and trying to help people and talking them through the things that they're supposed to be doing for like the compliance part of my job. So the most rewarding aspects, I'd say number one is just it's really good for the community, for all of University Health. Their whole thing is they'll treat patients regardless of their ability to pay. And so they're not focused on making money because they're a nonprofit, and they get funding through the government and other hospitals in the area. And so it's really rewarding because they're doing things for the community. They're helping people, even if they know they're not going to get paid at all, or definitely not in full or on time. And so it's really rewarding knowing that you're working for an organization that actually helps the community and gives people access to healthcare that otherwise wouldn't. A lot of cities don't have a place like University Health that is going to treat them and not expect them to be able to pay, and they'll still give them the highest quality treatment. So it's just really gratifying to work in an organization where you feel like you're actually helping. And also the other thing is building relationships. I felt like I've met a lot of different people, and from the department managers that I have to have contact with, and that I've also had meetings with whenever I was in my role in the summer, and then also the emails and everything. So the different people that I've met and developed relationships with, whether it's in the accounting department or now in the auditing, or if it's just someone that I've had contact with for the compliance aspect, it's just been really rewarding meeting all of these people and getting to know everyone's story. And so lastly, for professional development, like I mentioned, I've been meeting with all these department heads in my role during the summer, whenever my supervisor at the time was trying to help me find a role within the organization and help me kind of test the waters. Met with a lot of different department heads, and that's how I ended up where I'm at now in auditing with Barbara. So that was really rewarding during that time, and also now that I've had more contact with these people, whether it's the accountants, the department heads that I already met and have to work with more now, or department heads that I'm meeting now because of compliance. I feel like I've really built relationships with so many different people, and I've really become part of the organization. And so I feel like that's what's going to help me the most going forward out of anything, is just building the confidence that I can work within a big organization, I can work within a team and work well, and as well as just building that network. And that will conclude my presentation. Thank you very much, and I'll sign out. Thank you.